Hey! The sexy song, the sexy song, the sexy song. We do a lot of what you guys call twerking to that. We do a lot of that, and we use it a lot in our initiation classes and everywhere else. Okay. From the dense, thick forests of Central Africa to the beautiful mountains, the highest peaks of East Africa, down to the blue oceans of South Africa, where my ancestors used to stand on cliffs and look out into it. This is the land of the Bantu. And your court, people of God, those of us who share the same DNA because we got the same father, although we might have different mothers, we got the same daddy. Your court of the Bantu is open. Okay. And just to explain why readings are called the courts, I will explain it with a story, because the Bantu are in the world and the Bantu belong to the world. And so many of you have our DNA. Yes, you do. The first slaves to land in New York were Bantu. 6 million Bantu were enslaved in Brazil and most parts of South America. 6 million. How do we know that? Because the government of Angola, where Bantu slaves were taken from by the Portuguese to Brazil, have got the records. The government of Angola, where the Bantu slaves landed in New York City, about 2 or 3 million of them in New York City, and they were the first slaves ever in New York, have got the records. The government of Angola have the records of the number of slaves. They probably even have their names. The government of Angola in Luanda. So, you might want to add Luanda to your trip when you are going on this slavery thing, because millions of Bantus were captured in the Congo, in Angola, in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in Mozambique, millions of Bantus in Tanzania, millions of Bantus were captured and taken via Luanda, Angola. So we know that there are lots of you out there. I'm your ambassador. I'm going to bring you home spiritually, one child at a time. Having said that, why are we the courts? Why are we the courts? And why have I opened the court of the Bantu? Okay, the court system, the criminal justice system of the Bantu was always the witch doctor. The witch doctor would be the one who would always, after the story has been heard by the chiefs and so on, the witch doctor of the Bantu would then be the one to say, this one is guilty and this one is not. The witch doctor would break it down for everybody. The ancestors would break it down, and the guilty party will get what was coming to them, whatever that was. Right? And you might think that's so old-fashioned, but a week before I went to my village in Zimbabwe, a witch doctor channeled a murder victim. He died like 27 years ago. And his wife wouldn't give up. he was killed. He went out with his cousins, and his cousins came back without him, and they had a whole story. And because it was during the war, they had no time to prove whether the story was true or false. But he left a very young bride. A very young bride wouldn't give up. So eventually the young bride, who is now a much older woman, who had raised her own kids by herself, finally went to a witch doctor who was willing to talk about it. And the witch doctor said, I'm going to channel this motherfucker. I'm going to get him to tell us who killed him. And so this witch doctor channeled the victim, right? And he pointed out his cousins as his killers. He killed me. He killed because I had money and they wanted the money and blah, 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 blah. And the wife and all the relatives would gone for the channeling. She started screaming. She called the cops. They told the cops what the witch doctor had said, and the witch doctor verified it, and the 6 cousins were arrested on sight. Because the word of a witch doctor trumps everybody. Right. So they were arrested on sight, and they were carted off to prison, and they were given a chance to say goodbye to the whole village, one by one, door to door. The police was literally driving them from one hut to the next hut, to the next hut, to the next hut, so that they could say goodbye to their relatives, because they had been accused of murder by the dead guy. Right. And so, when they go to court, that will come up. That will be, that will have them in prison for many years. That seance of that witch doctor. And I said to myself, oh my God, in the West, for entertainment purposes only, to my own people, I literally hold their lives in my hands. So this is why this is a courtroom, and this is the court of the Bantu. All 130 something million of us. East, Central, South. We're Bantu. Okay. Okay, so today I'm doing Meghan. And it's like an update, and it's like really, hopefully it's a quick one. It's an update because I already did a Meghan reading where I said she shall be so hated by the British people, and I'm shocked at how much she's hated. I mean, I'm blown. My mind is blown. I mean, I'm shooketh. I am shocked because I know my ancestors said she is going to be so hated, but I am shocked, you guys. I am truly shocked. I can't believe the hate. I can't believe the vitriol. I cannot believe this. So the question is it racism? Or she's really not their cup of tea? Okay. Second question. I watched the clips of Meghan's documentary where she says it's been hard and it's not enough to just survive or whatever. You have to thrive, and I agree with her on that. You have to thrive. It seems to me that I move from one metaphysical crisis to another, and yeah, I want to thrive. I'm done with just surviving. I do want to thrive. So anyway, here we are. And next question. My ancestors are going a little too fast for me today. Anyway, the next questions that I wanted to find out was, is it really the press that is upsetting Meghan and Harry? Is it really the press that is doing this to them? Or there's something else? Right? Because my ancestors are not convinced that Meghan is really upset about the press. My ancestors said it doesn't go with her soul. It doesn't go with her character. She's a girl who wants to lord it over other people. She doesn't give a fuck what other people think. You know what I mean? And so, and they also said that Harry is very insulated from that shit. He's insulated from it. These people don't have to see. It's a belief. It's a belief that my ancestors are toying with, that these issues are internal, that Harry and Meghan are having issues with other members of the royal family, and they are taking it out on the media. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be a quick one. Hopefully. So I'm gonna call Meghan into the place. Meghan. 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 So Meghan walks into the plate. She is wearing like a pink sort of dress, like those favorite dresses of hers that she loves to wear. The kind that kind of are almost militaristic, you know, the khaki kind, you know, the kind. She walks into the plate with that, and then suddenly the khaki dress changes into a white dress, and then she sits on the edge, and then she looks directly at me. And this saw is very, very strong. It's Napoleon Bonaparte strong. Should I say that again? It is Napoleon Bonaparte strong. Okay. It is. This soul is at war. And that's why her dress turned from pink to white. In my culture, that depicts endings. I'm buried in white. When I die, I'm buried in white. We have white funeral gowns. So it depicts endings, right? And this soul is at war. This soul, it wants to burn the house down. This soul is desperately unhappy and angry, furious. And she keeps on saying, it's not fair. It's not fair. But if this is the way it has to be, then this is the way it has to be. Why are you angry at, Meghan? You might as well get to the gist of it. This family, how could they hate me so much because of the color of my skin? I tried so hard to fit in with them, and I believed them. I didn't know that these people were so hypocritical, that a smile wasn't really a smile. Encouragement wasn't really encouragement. I didn't understand the double talk, the double entendre. I didn't understand it. I did not understand these people. These people are alien to me. How could they pretend that they've welcomed me into their family with open arms, only to show, for me to find out and to show me how much they hate me? They threw me out of their circle. I'm not their son's wife, their grandson's wife, their brother's wife. I'm like his fucking concubine to them. And they're enjoying what is happening to me. Yet none of it is my fault. It's not my fault. I was born in dark skin. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And to carry it to my son, that's unbelievable. Do you know what it is like being rejected by family? Yeah, girl. I do. She says, you do. Yes, I do. I've been rejected by two families. My dad's and now my husband's family. And I was thinking they were the loveliest people. I never wanted to see them again. My ancestors were right. Okay. I'm going to call Harry. I know you're going to love me. Harry. And Harry walks in wearing the same kind of khaki stuff, but different colors, and his khaki stuff turns black. And then he comes, just to show you what's happening here. This is Meghan. She's sitting here looking at me. And this is Harry. He comes and he gives her space and he sits over here. And he's looking straight into the plate. I don't know why this is important, but I feel I should tell you all that Meghan is sitting like this. You know? She's sitting like this and she's looking at me like this. Directly at me. She has some amazing brown eyes. She's looking at me directly like this. Amazing brown eyes. Like this. So she, by looking at me like that, she has her back to, she has her back to Harry. Like this. She has her back to Harry. And Harry doesn't seem to be bothered at all. Harry is just looking straight into, he's on his haunches like this, and he's looking straight into the plate. Harry is dressed in black. The color black is the color of establishment for us, the Bantu, right? And I'm wearing black today because it's a new timeline and we're right in it now, and things have already changed in my life when it comes to planning and how I see myself, right? So Harry is just looking into the plate, and he is unbothered. He is holding on to the old established way, so he's not at war with the world. Meghan is. He isn't. Isn't that interesting? So now I'm going to take them out of the plate and do a couple reading, just to see and ask them questions. Oh, Lord have mercy. Who went to hide behind my flame? Do you see, guys? Literally, someone went to hide behind my flame, and I am going to leave this shell exactly where it is because it's telling a story. So now I have got the couple that is Harry and this is an amazing thing. Okay, I've got the couple that is Harry and Meghan. Okay, this is Meghan, this is Harry. These two people, they love each other. However, there's too much distance, too much cultural distance, too much separation. They barely spend time with each other. I guess that's why they're going to take a family break so that they can be together. They don't spend any time with each other at all. They don't at all. She is completely on her own. And the shell that is hiding behind the flame, she wants to go. As much as she loves Harry, she wants to leave him. And her soul is nodding. Yeah, she wants to go. She wants to go. She wants to go back to her people in America. She wants to go. In fact, her entire trajectory says she wants to go. Harry, on the other hand, is looking this way. He is very much established in his society, obviously, and in his traditions, and he has no intentions of changing in whatever way, shape, or form. He doesn't give a fuck. He couldn't care less. And he is more concerned with holding on to what he is and who he is. As much as he loves this woman, he is thinking that, you know what, she can go. We hardly spend any time with each other anyway. And, me, I've got my buddies. Harry has got 3 very close friends, 1 female, 2 males. And I don't mean sexual friends. I mean, he spends more time with his 2 friends because there's no sex involved here. Is there? No. They just hang. And they've been hanging since they were kids. And he sees them as his family, to be honest. And he just spends too much time with them. And basically, he's like, oh, whatever. I'm done with Meghan. She's too dramatic. She's too demanding. She's too theatrical. She's just too much. I'm done. So he seeks solace in his friends and in his other extracurricular activities. Meghan, on the other hand, is burdened. Oh my God, this girl is burdened. This girl has issues, and the issues are killing her. So she was not lying. This girl has issues. The title, the money, it has become an albatross to her. It really has. It has become an albatross to her. The people who don't care for her, the queen, could be not the queen. This person and these people, they are the big people in the royal family who don't like her at all. And she suffers. There's a beautiful young thing, and is this Catherine? Yes. Yeah, I knew that was Catherine. A beautiful young thing right here who is loved by this guy here, and that's William. Thank you so much. There's a beautiful young thing here who is loved, but this is William. This is Kate, and I really like Kate, by the way, but this is Kate, and she is a great influencer. Kate is a great influencer, and she influences the family not to like Meghan. She influences them. And she does a damn good job. Yeah. They're all thinking that Meghan is flaky. They're all thinking that, she's an actress, low-class trash. They make fun of her in that way. Low-class trash, garbage, black. I just got that from Meghan. Black. Sorry, I just got that. Black. They make fun of her using her race, using her everything, and it has taken its toll. Like I said, she really wants to run away. She really wants to. So we all know that there's a hit fest of Meghan right now, and she put out a video, a documentary with Harry that I haven't seen yet, and it'll probably take a while for me to see it because we haven't got it yet. But I did watch some clips where she was crying, but I think now we know that it's okay. I'll ask Meghan, is this about the press? Does it really hurt you what the press is saying about you? Does it really hurt you, Mama? We've got extenuating circumstances. Okay. Yes. It hurts her. This is Meghan. It hurts her a great deal. However, it's not what they are saying. It's who is feeding the press. Okay, so who do you think is feeding the press? Who do you think is making the press do this? Okay, people, you're going to be shocked. She accuses Charles, her father-in-law, and Kate. I thought it would be Camilla because that's Charles. It's the people who are feeding the press that are hurting her. She accuses her father-in-law, Charles, of feeding the press, and she accuses Kate of feeding her father-in-law, who in turn feeds the press. And what also hurts her is her husband not taking it seriously, and her husband's love for other things other than her. Okay, so her husband, this show is exactly the way Harry is in this plate. This is exactly how his soul is. He ain't even paying attention to Meghan. He is paying attention to his stuff that's in the plate there. And once again, his two friends who really love each other with him, they do some shenanigans. The way I'm being, they haven't. My ancestors are going faster than I can translate. Okay. International translator is on go slow today. Sorry, people. My translator is on go slow today. Do you know that I can understand someone who's speaking in tongues? Yes, I can. I can understand them. I can translate them. So, I find I never used to be able to, but since my translation, I can understand. A friend of mine sent me a recording of his friend speaking in tongues, and I translated that shit. And I was like, oh my God, my international translator is now working for tongues as well. Oh my God, churches should hire a bitch. Churches, hire a bitch. Because, I actually discovered that that's actually a language. A language from the veil. A language from the veil. And I hate to say it, it's not angels talking. Nah, I'm sorry. Well, maybe I'll find one speaking in tongues and it's an angel, but the tongues that I have translated so far is not an angel talking. It is an ancestor. So, people should take Ancestors Day seriously, October 31, and all that's jazz. Okay, let me get on. October 31 is going to be a big Ancestors Day in the future. But that's another story for another video. Okay, let me get back to what they were saying. Yeah, I had to take a little break. So I filled it in with some... I filled it in with this. Okay, I had to take a little break for my international translator. Because I had an ear infection. And it was really terrible. A lot of vomiting and stuff. And once one of my senses is bugged with, I always get an ear infection when I get a metaphysical attack. Always. Either I lose my sight for a few days or I get an ear infection. I'd rather lose my sight for a few days because the ear infection is worse. So I'm still recovering from the ear infection and I've got antibiotics and stuff. That's why the ear infection is worse, because I literally have to get antibiotics and I have to see a doctor. I'm seeing my doctor again for a checkup tomorrow, right? And usually it's a metaphysical thing. I think those who are metaphysical scientists do understand that we do get attacked that way. The eyes, I just wait for my eyesight to come back to me because I've had them checked a billion times and there's nothing wrong with them, and I know it's a metaphysical thing. You lose one of your senses. Sometimes I lose taste, the ability to taste my food. Sometimes I lose the ability to feel, to touch, and to feel. That all just means that somebody is attacking me in the metaphysical. That's why I really agreed with Meghan when she said it's not enough to survive, you have to thrive. Because it seems to me that I'm always under one psychic attack, one metaphysical attack after another. Anyway, it's all in my book. And back online. Okay, so Harry, the way the triangle, this is what they're telling me. He has refused to let go of his bachelor days. So he shows us, you know what I'm saying? He shows us this. Oh, my wife, huggies, kissing, da 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 da. However, there is no such thing. He's still doing exactly what he was doing before he was married. But I think I told you people that in my last reading. I think I told you that when I did this couple before. He's still doing it. So what we are seeing in front of us is an act. And that makes sense because he traveled all over Bantu territory when they went. And she stayed in South Africa. He traveled all over Bantu territory by himself. That's very telling. Okay. Because Harry and Bantu women are great friends. Anyway, there is their son here whom they share. And obviously, Harry has a whole lot more going on for him than she does. Because they have a son here whom they share. And this is very fascinating because I really thought that Meghan was a hands-on mom. I really thought she was spending lots of time with her child and so on. That's not what the shells are saying. The shells are saying Meghan doesn't spend much time with that little boy. But the little boy has a nanny. and is more attached to his nanny than Meghan, because he barely sees Meghan. And he barely sees his father too. There is a lot of distance here. However, it appears here that he sees his father more than he sees Meghan. So those pictures we might be seeing, they might be photo opportunities. I'm very disappointed. There might be photo opportunities. They might be, photos. Very disappointed. Anyway, my question was, I wanted to ask who decided to sue? Who decided to sue the newspapers? Meghan or Harry? Meghan or Harry? I'm going to go into the future of this couple. Oh, Lord. Okay, the decision to sue is going to be very destructive for the both of them in more ways than one. It's actually going to affect their marriage, and not in a good way. They are going to end up not liking each other, even though there was so much love. But lo and behold, there is another pregnancy. There is a pregnancy right here. Yeah, she's going to have another baby. There is another pregnancy right here. And there is Archie right here. Yeah, she's going to have another baby. Yeah, another baby is on the way. Okay, so besides that, I'm still asking the question. This is Harry. This is Meghan. I'm still asking the question, who decided to sue? Was it you, Harry, or was it Meghan? Okay, I'm told to put it in the plate and talk to the souls themselves. Who decided to sue? Was it you, Harry, or was it Meghan? Meghan. Says she won't play by their rules anymore. She'll play by hers. She will control them using her position forever. Napoleon Bonaparte. I told you, this right here is Napoleon. She don't play. This is a tough cookie. This is a tough woman. So were you pretending? When you were crying and when you were saying it's very hard, were you pretending? Oh my God, were you pretending? I must ask, when you were saying it's very tough, it's very hard. She says, I'm an actress. I give the people what they want. But I'm done with these British people. They really pretended to love me, and I really thought I'd won them over. And I'm not talking about the people on the streets. I don't care about the people on the streets. I am talking about this family right here. This family. Harry's family. They pretended that they cared for me, that they liked me, that they didn't care that I was part black and all that stuff. They really pretended, and only for me to realize that it was all a lie, that the British are always telling lies, that what they say is true is not true, and so on and so on. I'm done. I'm not playing by their rules anymore. I'm playing by mine. I got myself some American employees, and I got myself some black people, and I am now playing by my own rules. I am now at war with this royal family. Why should I care? They don't love me. They don't love me at all. They betray me at every turn. I can never do anything right. And when I try to correct what is a lie, they are the one who stomp all over me. They started this hate fest. This hate fest came straight from Buckingham Palace. I tell Harry, let's bow out. Let's leave. We don't have to be here in Buckingham Palace because we're not anyone's competition. We move far away. I move my husband far away from everything that he knows. And guess what? It still doesn't stop. It still doesn't stop. They keep coming after me. Do you know I have no friends? How can someone like me not have friends? I have no British friends in the class that I'm supposed to be in. I have no friends. They ignore me. And when my son is born, I don't even get gifts that are worthy from anyone who should care for my son. Nobody cares for my child. I better have another one so that my child won't be lonely. Okay. So, I gotta think about this. I'm so sorry. I gotta think about it. Okay. I'm gonna ask Harry if he was planning on moving to Africa, because there was a rumor that they put a bill, I think, in Parliament that whatever a certain royal members were going to move to Africa. So let me ask you, Harry, were you moving to Africa, or are you moving to Africa? Were you moving to Africa, or are you moving to Africa? He says, Meghan would like us to. Meghan wants to get away from all this. She has even threatened me that if we don't move, she will divorce me. I can't move to Africa. I love Africa, but if I go there, nothing will change. I'll just become debauched, and I'll just, no, it's not a place of change. Nothing changes in Africa. Africans hate change. So I can't make a difference. He's right, by the way. He's right about that. I can't make a difference where the people hate change and they don't want change, and change has to be forced upon them. And if you turn your back for 2 seconds, they destroy it. Africans are very destructive. I cannot disagree. Africans are very destructive. So I won't be achieving anything there. I really won't be. They can destroy advancements and civilization in less than 25 years because they don't like change. That's kind of true. And before the world says, no, I will say my own president, Robert Mugabe, he inherited a second world country. We were second world people. We were second world. We had everything that was working. We had electricity 24 hours a day. We had sanitary water. We had free schools. We had all this stuff. We were kicking it. And then in 30 years, he took us back to 1800s. Now, people in my country die of a broken finger. Your broken finger can get infected and you can die. And yet, we were doing IVF. We were leading contenders of IVF. And he, to make his children rich, he destroyed everything, stole as much as he could, and then made the whole of Africa love him. Yet he turned the clocks back to 1800. And my ancestors say there is no coming back from that. In the end, my country is going to be a province of South Africa, and everybody will be happy for it. Yeah, but that's what my ancestors say. They say there's no coming back from this. The damage is so huge. There is no coming back from it. So based on my own personal experiences, before people hit out at Prince Harry for what he said, based on my own personal experiences with my own people, I agree with him. Okay? That's why I stay away from politics. Okay? Robert Mugabe is the worst thing that ever happened to the Republic of Zimbabwe. I have said it out loud. Yes, I have. And even the ancestors agree. But of course, the rest of the world loves him. And he did a great job of that. And good for him. And unfortunately, Zimbabweans are going to vote his son into power in a few years. Robert Mugabe Jr. shall be president. And the destruction will continue until Zimbabwe is annexed for its own sake. literally, this South African president is going to say, he's going to be very young, in his 30s, he's going to say, for its own sake, let's just annex this. And for our own sake, for our own security, let's just take this country and turn it into a province and just put a governor. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay. Not now, though. We'll be long dead. We'll be bones. Okay. But in less than 100 years, in less than 100 years, there will be no country called Zimbabwe. And Robert Mugabe started the ball rolling. He started the destruction. His son will finish it. Okay. Alrighty. So, back to these two people. And that's why I don't do politics. And I've only done it because he's dead. Okay. But I don't really do politics because of that reason. Because my ancestors only do predictions from 100 years. They say, well, this is going to happen. Now let's trace back to why this is going to happen, right? Like, Greta Thunberg, she is warning people about an environmental disaster where the world will end and nobody's listening to her, but she's right. Right? And my ancestors told me about her years ago when they started downloading Across the Realm to me, and they said, this is your future, and this is the future of the Bantu and the ancestors. This is how our religion is going to evolve, and you are a member of that evolving. Right? You are one of the ones starting the evolution of our religion, of energy, of this energy of the ancestors, so that it is understood. And then, I wrote Across the Realm from a futuristic perspective because I was in the future. They introduced me to a soul from the 27th century. They did. Her name was Naledi, and she was a soldier, and she'd just transcended. And I got to talk to her, and she told me this story, Across the Realm. She gave me training grounds. She gave me, I'm still writing it, but with her, right? She's telling me, and I'm still writing it. And my ancestor said, this is your world. And Greta Thunberg is warning people that the world is going to be destroyed because of environmental issues, and nobody's listening to her, but it actually is. It actually is. And to think I was talking to a soul from the 27th century, let's think about this. That she'd already lived hundreds of years with a destroyed earth, right? Because earth is literally going to be split into two. But you know what? If you read Across the Realm, you'll get to read Naledi's story, how she gives it to me. And we meet her also when the world is about to be destroyed again for the second time. But, Greta Thunberg, people should be paying more attention to that girl. That's all I have to say. Nothing else is more important. Trump is not important. What's going to happen in 2020 is not important, not to my ancestors. Nothing else is more important except that this little girl has stood in front of the whole world and said, what are you doing? We're killing this world. And some of us are just not paying attention to it. We'd rather listen to Lori Harvey, the Katuzinya. Do you know what I'm saying? And yet, this is what is the most important thing. So my ancestors look at building blocks, like steps to building a grave. That's what they look at. This is how you people in the world are building your grave. And Robert Mugabe was a grave builder. And may God forgive him, because his people certainly won't. Okay. Back to these two. Thank you, Harry, for bringing that up, because it is something I have also noticed, that we don't like change. So we sabotage ourselves because we don't like change. Therefore, no progress comes to our continent. Okay. So Harry doesn't want to move to Africa. So who wants to move to Africa? Meghan. But she doesn't necessarily want to move to Africa. She just wants to run away. Okay. The future of this couple, seeing as how the hate is even major, and Meghan is accusing Prince Charles of orchestrating the hate, right? Because he can't stand her, and she's accusing Kate of orchestrating the hate. So, what's gonna happen? Megan. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in the future between you and Harry? Oh my goodness. I did not see this before. I totally did not see it before, and I am just like surprised. But this thing falls saying this, they're going to separate. They are going to go their separate ways. So this is Harry. He is on the run, boy. He is on the run. His triangle is on the run. Okay, to the right, to establishment, to what he knows. And this is Meghan. Harry will continue to love this woman. Harry will continue to love Meghan to the end. But Meghan will not be loving him. They will share 3 children. I don't know if one child will be born though, because this shell is down. But there is one child born, second child born, and I'm just gonna say a miscarriage, or there's like a miscarriage there. 2 miscarriages. Let me just say it. There are 2 miscarriages. So they were given 4 souls by God, but there are definitely 2 live births. Right? So they're going to share their kids, but they will be leading separate lives. Harry is going to go back to the establishment and be Prince Harry and be quiet. And she is going to leave. However, this may not, there's another child coming and all sorts of things happening here, guys. So this may be years from now. But, there is a definite separation, and they may not divorce. They may just live separate lives. Let's ask. Harry, Meghan, will you divorce or live separate lives? Will you divorce? Will you divorce? Let's ask. Oh, they are very sure about this. No. So they will just lead separate lives and just be secretive. So I was right so my ancestors were right the first time too, because they said there's no divorce. They will just lead separate lives. Like some first ladies and the presidents in Africa, they are married, but they don't live together. So they will just lead separate lives. Okay. What is the friction between you and William Harry? Okay, so I'm going to take out Meghan, and I'm going to call Prince William. Okay, Prince William. So, I'm very surprised. Because William is very embracing of his brother. He walked in and he tried to give his brother a hug, and his brother rebuffed him like hell no, right? So William is uncertain and insecure. William is very, very sensitive, almost femininely so. He's very, very sensitive, and that's what my ancestors just said. That's what makes him a very good father and a good husband, although he cheats. That's what my ancestors just said. Okay, so he really cares for his little brother, and he's really, really worried about his little brother. So maybe the tabloids are not wrong when they say that William is worried about his little brother. He really, really is. But Harry is saying you are part of the machinery that is destroying my marriage. He says, I know you don't like black people, but you don't have to destroy my marriage. He says Meghan is soothing and gentle and loving, and she's strong enough to show her emotions, and she's strong enough to show that she cares. There is no reason for you all to go after her the way you are doing. So Harry is actually crying in here. He's really crying. He really loves his wife. He's really crying about this. And William is saying there's nothing he can do. He's saying, I told you that this would be difficult. Yeah. So like my ancestors kind of say that the relationship between the brothers is breaking down because of his marriage to Meghan. Okay, any other questions? So, let me call Meghan again. Meghan. This time she walks in and she sits down and she does the same thing. I think she plays with this thing of hers. I think she plays with it. And because she's playing with it when she's nervous, unhappy, in defense mode, which is what she's in now. But she allows Harry to take her hand and to hold it. So she's allowing him to hold it. And I was going to say, okay, my question is, out of that documentary, what was true and what was not true? I haven't watched this documentary, but I'm asking her, what is true out of this documentary and what isn't? I'm asking her herself, what is true and what isn't? Well, she says all of it is true. But this is very interesting. She's saying it's true, but she was looking for sympathy and understanding. So she put her best foot forward in that direction. Right. She says this documentary is not going well. And it's actually causing me more problems than I anticipated. She said, I did it for in your face, but it's causing me so many problems. She says, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. And I'm going to wish the Duchess of Sussex, whom I have absolutely nothing against, and the Duke of Sussex, whom I have absolutely nothing against. I think they are a lovely couple who are facing a smear campaign. The shells did definitely show a smear campaign, and the smear campaign is coming from those who are higher than them. So I wish them all the best, and I know you're strong, Meghan, and I wish you the best, Mama Bear, and fight the good fight. And if not you, then who? I was asked that question. I said everybody. Alrighty, people. Bye. Bye.